case nobody knows, um, especially fans out there, my name is Johnson Brittle, team owner of the Kyoto Semionas, and we've just won it all. And I couldn't be more proud as a team owner that this of how this team came together and got this thing done in the style that they did. We went through a lot of hardships all season. You mentioned Dion earlier, the letting go of Julio Jones midseason, which we all received a lot of flack for, which I'll let Coach get into at a later point. But I just want to say, as an owner, my investment really paid off, and it's great when great guys and great coaches come together and are able to get this kind of thing done. So I don't want to talk too much because fans don't want to see the owner; they want to see the guys who were out there who really got this thing done. But as kind of like the father of the organization, 10 years running now since Long Duck Dong, unfortunately, rest in peace, who originated this glorious franchise, departed. I've really tried to keep things under that kind of expectation and leadership, and I think I've really done that for him. And I know he's looking down on us right now, and is it's a proud moment for our franchise and the Long Duck Dong family. But again, I don't want to take up too much time, so I'm going to take this championship and I'm going to put it where it belongs. I'll bring on Big Jim Rogers, the coach at Semionas, who we brought in here for this purpose, and he's delivered. And yeah, Dion, I'll grab him. Can't wait, can't wait to see you later on two-a-days next season, huh? Oh, hey, Dion, I didn't know you were there. Yeah, just I'm overwhelmed with joy and passion for this moment. This is really a great moment for this organization. Ownership really came to my aid, enlisted my help a season ago to get this team back on track, and really had a lot of faith in what we were trying to accomplish, especially through a chaotic season like this. Thinking back on just kind of where this team originated and how it got to this point. I remember all the talk was after the draft. All this team's in a rebuilding mode, and they've got this the Sports Illustrated cover of the crackpot mad scientist Big Jim. Puppeteer doesn't know what's going on. What's he doing? Does he know does he even know what sport he's in? He's dropping guys, starting guys, doesn't know what the hell what the fuck he's doing. But amidst all that criticism, and in a big town like Kyoto, where the media is just in a frenzy about every little thing you do. I feed my dog wrong, and all of a sudden I got to be lynched. It's crazy. But I just want to say how happy I was to see everything come together. And to see this team really rise above the X's and O's and finish where they did. I can think back to as early as game one where we took on the prohibitive favorite. I remember the Browns eye. They came into town and they were supposed to. They were stacked lineup wise. They seemed like the best team on paper, and we did lose that game, but we fought hard. We fought hard, and I wanted to make sure I instilled in these players that no matter what the outcome was, our effort was not going to suffer on the football field. We were going to fight tooth and nail no matter who we played week in and week out, win or lose. We were not going to be ashamed of ourselves. And like I said, even though we lost that game, that started a four-game, some odd winning streak, where this team just started to come together. We had some younger guys, some younger talent, a few injuries early on where I had to kind of mix and match, but found the right groove early on. And I mean, having played Dion, you know what it's like. You've been in this kind of locker room in this scenario, and the guys really bought in early on. We went on that tear, and we were at the top of the league. It was us and the Browns' eye right from the beginning. And then kind of mid-season, it was getting close to mid-season, kind of lost our way a little bit. This team started to slide and backtrack a little bit, started dropping games to teams that, maybe we were thought we should really be beating these teams, but we weren't. Guys were not, producing, and, that kind of brings us to the midway point in the season where it was crunch time. It was time to get this team where it belonged mentally and physically. And we had some guys that were really pushing the lineup, like Your Emmanuel Sanders is a great example. I mean, why did we make the play with Julio Jones that we made? Um, which I mean, I take full responsibility for. I was the one who decided this guy's got to go. We got to drop Julio Jones. We got to move on. It was a chemistry move for this team. It was a chance to get another guy in the starting lineup that was pushing to get in there and deserved a starting spot. And I mean, frankly, Julio Jones for us just wasn't getting it done, and we really needed to move on from that. And you know, initially it looked like I was getting the that every week. It looked like what's he doing? Big Jim is a big mistake. What is he doing wrong? He's crazy. He doesn't know what's going on. He talks a big game. He loses, then he talks some more. I'm like, what the hell's wrong with this guy? But I think now that we ended up where we ended up, we're Super Bowl champs. And, I can't see a reason to say or regret any of that. It certainly played in our favor near the end of the season. And that, of course, that brings us to, we had three great matchups this season against iFarley. iFarley was a tough team, top to bottom. They really weren't expected to do a whole lot either, like us. A very similar story, but they raced to the top spot in the conference, and they were the top seed, and when we played them in the playoffs, it was a total classic. They were, we went into halftime after those 1 o'clock games, and we were getting our butts kicked. And I just went, guys, you know, um, when are you gonna take the Vaseline off of us and put it on them instead? And that just seemed to get everyone fired up. And we went out there those 4 o'clock games and we said, we're going to take that Vaseline to them. We're not going to take it ourselves. We're going to put it on them. We're going to ramrod. And that's what we did. We went out there. Biggest comeback of the season, I think. I think they'll talk about it for years to come. And we won that rubber match. You have to remember, our two teams were separated by less than 2 points in three matchups. So these two teams, I mean, this was really the battle for it all, and it was great. And I remember when we won that third game to put us in the Super Bowl, the championship game against Farley, and I remember I saw him crying in the corner, and I went over to him. I said, "There's always next year." And he didn't respond. He might have flicked me off. I don't know, but my heart muscle was there for him. And which brings us to this Super Bowl, where it just we were so pumped after that win against Farley that going in against the Granite State Gargoyles, it was just about, let's just finally put it all together, guys. We know we can do this. We got a tough opponent. The controversial Le'Veon Bell trade, which really had nothing to do with the outcome of the season, though it was very controversial when it happened, presented a 1-2 punch with him and DeMarco Murray. I really didn't know. A lot of people thought, Big Jim and his Semionas, they're never going to get it done. This is insane. But here they are, and I just want to. I was so proud of how we came out. Everything was the right move. Everything went perfectly, and here we are. We're Super Bowl champs. Tony. But anyway, yeah, you know, if they give me a contract extension to stay in Kyoto, I probably will. But that's something to be decided for another day. But you should probably talk to one of the players, Dion. I mean, I'm one of the coaches. Yeah, I was instrumental. I put every guy in his place. But let's get one of the players out here to talk a little bit. Okay? Yeah. All right. Cool. Dez, you never stop. Well, this is Tony. This is Tony. Tony Romo. I was a late season. I just can't believe where we've come from. I was a late season addition to this team. My hair's all crazy. I've been playing so hard, but it doesn't matter. I was a late season addition, and everyone had me on their waiver wire, but nobody was giving me a chance. And I saw the Semionas with Colin Kaepernick, and they had some good players, but I just didn't think they were missing that little bit of leadership. And I was a little concerned going into championship game. I talked to Big Jim. He said I'm going with Big Ben against Farley. It's nothing personal. I just don't think you can get it done. And I kind of like, okay, I took that and ran. And he pulled me aside, this week during preparation and said, I'm going with you, Tony. I think you're going to have the hot hand, and let's see how far you can get. And after all the so many years of you know, I just feel like I've come so far, and to see this team celebrate and to feel like I was a big reason why it won. Um, after being for years, I was just pilloried in the news for my rape addiction, and just things that just, it was, it was hard, and no one would give me a chance, and I knew I could play this game, um, I honestly I have to give thanks to God. God really came through for me and helped me overcome that addiction and got me to where I was, gave me the opportunity to shine, and I wanted to make sure I took both the bull by the horns, and worked that bull back. And I feel like I worked that bull hard today, and you know, um, it's so it's so I'm just so happy. And, I really want to call this team home. So I hope that the the Kyoto Semionas, um, I'd really be interested in re-signing here. So we'll have to see how things unfold. But I just want to soak up this moment. After working that bowl, I want to soak it up. So thank you so much. And Dion, you always said you had faith in me. Even despite the addiction, the rape addiction, and you really thought I could make a difference on this team, and I really appreciate it. You know, um, all I gotta say is, go Semionas, Semionas, yeah.